Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV, and welcome to the BSTV Clio UK Cup, rounds 5 and 6 from the Red Bull Ring, our first flyaway race of the season. I'm Clyde Whiting. I will be your cameraman and co-commentator, and in the booth with me, as usual for this series, it's Mr. Wobbly Kneecaps. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Yeah, first flyover, great track. I drove this one actually in week 13 when the Clio came out. It's an amazing blast. It's good fun. Off tracks can be painful, but seeing the quality of the field, don't think that's gonna be a problem. I do want to point out though that we got Sam Blees and we got Spencer McCarthy in the race as well. So my big question is, are they gonna take it to Simon and Johnny, who've been running away with it, and now they're able to cut through the field like they do in TCR, especially Spencer. Them driving in the Clio is definitely a quality impulse, and it's gonna be great, I think, tonight.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I think those two have seen the light. They're using their weekend team name, which is it's Bumfluff Racing. On a sad note, just one thing to point out before we go. Wayne Sanderson is missing for the next couple of weeks. Sadly, his father passed away. So he's gone back to Australia, obviously, to get everything sorted. So I'm sure everybody at BSTV, including the drivers and the viewers, send big hugs and kisses and love to Wayne and all the family at this terrible time. But that's
very unfortunate.
That's the only bit of bad news. The good news is we've got 12 races again. We've got new drivers again. And I may have possibly done some magic, and I might be able to get the stand-ins up on the screen. So let's have a go.
No way, Clyde.
Way. Here we go. So, Clio Cup standings. As you can see, Johnny Brandon, 4 wins out of 4, leads the way with 217. Second place, we have Jamie Wilson with 178, and in third place is Simon Trendle with 169. Next up, we hopefully have got the team standings. XVR lead the way with 359 points. Team Chimera second. I forgot to press the button. It was all going too well. Team Chimera second with 347, and BSTV Esports in third with 236. And then we've got the driver of the meeting. Not particularly interesting at the moment, apart from the fact that Pete Bingham has probably got his first ever boat. But 4 races and 4 different winners of the driver of the meeting. So that all looks very, very good, Wobbly. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just pressing buttons at the moment. So
that's great. So I'll fill it up. So looking to the track, it would be amazing if you get on board with. Well, let's do a random one. Let's do JB. Let's get on board with JB when he starts the lap.
And let's get inside his head nearly.
So he's lining up for the fast lap, and you got the double right hand. And we saw during F1 qualifying, you go over the line, they punish the lap. On iRacing, it's not as punishing. Although, if you brake like 10 meters, 15 meters too late, then you lose your lap time. You instantly get an X, and you might even get a slowdown. So starting the lap, qualifying lap, JB spot on, all out, second lap. Start is probably on really warm. You start braking at the 100 meter mark, and you're turning quite sharp. Don't hit the yellow sleeping policeman on the right. And it's a really good corner the way he made it. He drove and he rode over the curb just a little bit to get the extra turn in. So I might think that JB's gonna go professional real soon. I think we're gonna lose him, Clyde. Offer him a contract.
You never know.
He's up braking in probably at 110. Go a little bit wide because in the middle of the apex it's a little bit of camber and the car wants to wash out. And if you avoid that camber on the inside, you get a better run on the back straight. And it's all uphill, so the inside line is definitely not the quickest. Like after this moment, you're going downhill, and with the Clio not having ABS, you might lock up. I think we're gonna see some incidents there in the first 2 laps when people are gonna try to get past each other. JB did a marvelous job though, braking at the right spot, and here it isn't a braking zone. Oh, a bit of an oversteer over there, but it isn't a braking zone. You lift off the throttle a little bit, and you try to keep the car on the left-hand side within the white line. If you go over the white line, it's an off track. Again, you try to not brake on the left-hander, and if you wash out too far to the right, you get an off track. But there's also a pretty severe slowdown on the right. I think we're gonna see like 3 or 4 cars even getting it, and we all know that Spencer is the king of getting slowdowns. I am as well, apparently, but Spencer is one who does it as well. So going to the right-handers, he just approached. Again, I already mentioned that. Don't brake too late. You guys get shut out. Don't go wide on the left-hand side. Even there, I think if you go off the curb, it's off track. If you hit the, I think the AstroTurf with the right wheel, right front, then you get the slowdown. And that's JB lap.
This, I think this is a cracking little track. I think it's too much for the bigger, more powerful cars. Although it is, I still admit it is fun. But in a car like the Clio, we've seen the TCRs around here as well. It's so much fun because there's quite a bit going on in a lap, as you've just seen with Wobbly talking you through that lap. But let's bring up the elephant in the room. So Sam Blees and Spencer McCarthy. This is their first racing with us in the Clios. Obviously, they're regulars in the TCR league. And we've seen Jamie Wilson, Simon Trendle. We've seen Johnny Brandon, obviously, with his 4 wins. Do you think Sam and Spencer are going to be able to take it to the guys that we've seen going quick in this car so far?
Yeah, we were we had a slight pre-chat, and we were talking about Sam, Johnny, Spencer, and Simon. Like, who raced each other? Because Simon and Johnny raced each other with V8s. They know what to expect from each other. But we didn't see. I don't think they drove against. Sam and Spencer didn't drove against Johnny, while Spencer maybe. Oh! That's a near collision from Pete.
Well, Gary Craig has just pointed out that Pete got a purple sector, and he's wondering which corner he missed.
Yeah, he's probably going back to Silverstone now, like he did last week. But yeah, so in a pre-chat we pretty much were discussing who raced each other. And obviously Sam and Spencer drive against each other every week. They know each other from the team. They know Simon a little bit, but not quite as well as Johnny and Simon do. But while Simon, I think, has a real good racecraft, so he knows how Spencer and Sam drive. Yeah, I think there's gonna be a 4-way battle for the lead. And if Pete, bless him, if Pete managed to keep it on track, last week he actually did show he had some pace.
He had some pace when he was on the right track. I'll give you that. It was when he was doing a different layout to everybody else that it all went a bit pear-shaped.
When he tried to take the right-hand turn to Donington.
I've got to mention this paint that Bumfluff Racing are sporting. It looks like it's half peas and half sweet corn. I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
It's lovely though.
But for the vegans out there, they're going to be cheering for this team all night long.
Isn't it a mango? Like an avocado and a mango?
I think you're looking a bit too much into it. Us Brits are very simple, mate. We like peas, we like sweet corn, and that's about it. Another paint to mention, Mr. Toon has got his new paint on, looking very resplendent, and a bit of advertising for his Facebook page. And also Darren Reynolds has managed to get his paint uploaded and is now proudly on display. So, where are we at the moment, Wobbly? We are just over halfway in the 15-minute qualifying session. Johnny Brandon currently sits on provisional pole. Jamie Wilson second. Simon Trendle in third. For anybody that hasn't watched this before, it's, I was going to say fast and furious, but it's not really fast. It's sort of mediocre speed, but furious and frenetic, and any other word you want to use for Clio racing. We have two 20-minute races. Grid is set by this qualifying session for race 1, and then there is a reverse top 8. I hope I've got that wrong. 1 week I'll get it right.
It's 8. You're right.
Yes,
yeah, right.
Get in. Reverse top 8 for the second race. It's anybody that's watching that wants to have a go. It's a bit of an arrive and drive series. Although me and Wobbly do keep discussing it, we think there are certain drivers that are starting to get a little bit of practice in and taking it a little bit more serious. But there are all sorts of ability in this. You will find somebody to race with. You will see from watching the broadcast tonight that cars do seem to pair off. And if you look back at the 4 rounds we've had before, you will see it's some absolutely fantastic racing. So no excuse. Get yourself signed up, visit our website, and you could be out on the track with these guys next Friday. So, Spencer McCarthy, Sam Blees, I know we keep talking about them, Wobbly, but we're keeping an eye on them. They were 4th and 5th, but Adam Wright has just popped his face into 4th place.
Yeah, we've seen Adam also showing tremendous pace. Not as quick as Simon and Johnny have been in the last 2 races, and not as quick in the media day race. These are about a 10th or 2 off. But looking at how skillful Adam is, I would say he has no chance.
Yeah, no chance, no friends, no life.
No shorts.
He's just a bit crashy lately, isn't he?
He has been, yeah. And I mean, I don't know. He didn't, like in Washington, where I had a collision with him, it was on me and we hit each other, but he did force the issue a bit. But on Daytona, he was trying to do the rally track every lap. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it would be great for him to finish the race. It doesn't even matter if he's 13 or 12. He managed to get 13 with 12 people in the race, but 12.
And he couldn't
just finish the race.
Yeah, Pete will be 13th.
But just finish the race without crashing. I think that would be great for him.
Yeah, and another driver, Rob Venn. He's been a bit. I always call them ninja drivers. Don't really see him doing anything spectacular, and then you suddenly look up at the leaderboard and you're like, how did he get there? He's driving really well.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job. He's the kind of driver that's really safe. And if I compare him to another driver in BSTV, he's a bit like Gary. I think Gary is a little bit quicker. I don't. No. Let me rephrase that. Gary is a little bit quicker, not a little bit, but he's just quicker. But Gary is the same type of driver. They just drive. You don't see him. They don't know any moves, and suddenly they're on P3, just because they don't have any incidents, and they keep it at a pace which they know they can manage, which is a good tactic, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like I say, you don't see stuff going on with these drivers, but they're always there to pick up the pieces if something happens in front. It's just a weird thing to. Jamie Wilson is a bit like that in V8s as well. He'll qualify okay. He'll have his usual shocking start,
Yes.
And you look at the leaderboard and he's in 12th or something like that, and then 3 laps later you look back up and he's in 5th, and you're like, oh, I didn't see him do anything, but suddenly he's up there. So it could be interesting. On I'll probably put the mockers on him now. He's probably going to stall it on the start line. Everybody's going to crash into him, and that'll be the end of it. But I do. Although Rob, hopefully he'll take this the right way. I don't think he's blessed with natural pace, but he is blessed with racecraft, and he knows what his pace is, and he knows what he can do with his pace. And there's not many races that he doesn't get the best result he possibly could have.
I think that he is actually blessed. To counter your argument, he is blessed with natural pace, but he is blessed with natural pace on certain tracks. We mentioned this last week on Mid Ohio and GT4. So he was really quick. I couldn't beat him on raw pace back then. But there are certain tracks where he really accelerates, like he really shines, and there's certain tracks where he's just like right in the middle, not mediocre, but like right in the middle. And I think that's the if he gets a track with a car he really enjoys, he's gonna be top 5. If it's a track he just normally drives for fun, then it's gonna be top 8.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. So, Johnny Brandon, 4 wins out of 4. Who's going to stop him tonight?
Yeah, so Jamie is actually quicker than his teammate Simon, and we know they always wind each other up on Discord. And I know that Sam and Spencer, they haven't driven the car. Well, they might have driven the car, but they just turned up this afternoon. Like, we want to race. They joined the league, which is great. And I think that we're gonna see them moving forward and getting quicker during the races. So I'm not surprised to see Sam and Spencer a little bit further down than we usually do them. Expect them to be. So Johnny on pole. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is the qualifying session over. Wobbly is going to quickly extend the gridding. I'm going to press buttons and hope that all the team names are right. And they're not. Okay, so I'm going to need some help with this. Some of them are, some of them ain't. Although, to be honest, they're all right apart from the 2 that joined tonight. So, yeah, never know. Anyway, your starting grid for round 5. Johnny Brandon, XVR, goes off from pole position. Jamie Wilson, Team Chimera in 2nd. Teammate Simon Trendle in 3rd. Sam Blees, Bumfluff Racing in 4th. Adam Wright, BSTV Esports 2 in 5th. Bumfluff Racing, Spencer McCarthy in 6th. Pete Bingham, BSTV Esports 3 in 7th. Rob Venn, BSTV Esports in 8th. Sam Boozin, BSTV Esports 2 in 9th. 10th is JB Deju, BSTV Esports. 11th is Darren Reynolds, WKG Motorsport. And Privateer Alan Toon is going to go off in 12th position. So let's see if we can find something that will make us look good at the start. Oh, that's rubbish. That's a bit better. Let's concentrate a bit further up the front.
So really looking forward to the first corner because it's gonna concertine all together. And then we're gonna have the draft race, like a sprint race from actually they start and they have a sprint race on the chicane. On the hairpin going up the hill, which is gonna do weird things. I think actually we're gonna see some cars colliding and hitting each other.
Very possibly. I will at some point, unashamedly, to all the haters, go to Chopper View to look at this, but the lights are about to come on. Here we go. A slow and frenetic 20 minutes. And they're away. Good start by everybody.
I think that Sam Blees had a blistering start. He really got off the line really quick. And it's already like 16 wide. And there's one. Oh, there's that Pete.
It was Pete. We'll go back and look at that when we can.
And Jamie's already getting haunted by Simon. He's trying to get in front of him. I think that Jamie's on the right side.
Yeah, Simon
This is
has
Jamie,
his
right?
nose in front.
Oh, they keep each other alive. I think they figured, well, let's not fight the first corner. Let's try to get to Johnny, because otherwise he's gonna be racing. He's gonna be driving away.
Yeah, I think that incident was Pete and Spencer.
It was Peter Spencer, and I rewatched it, and I think that Spencer, Pete came across a little bit, and Spencer kept turning left. Pete kept going right. So I think that Spencer was just afraid that he was gonna hit him, because we had a similar incident this year back in the day.
I told you, put the mockers on him, didn't we?
Oh, was it Rob?
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. Really close back to back. You see Simon, Jamie, Sam, and Adam within a second. Within these cars, the second is more than you like in a Formula 1 car, but it's still really close. You can't see your apex, you can't see your brake markers. And who's off the track right now? Is that? Oh, that's Darren Reynolds, who went a little bit wide in the back of the field.
Yeah, you're right. From the driver's position in these cars, you can't really see through very well, can you? The car in front. So, although they're only a little car, they have got a big bottom.
Well, people usually do.
Right, let's go back and see what happened to Pete. Pete and Spencer. Yeah, I do think Pete was a little bit guilty in that, if I'm honest.
I think it's a two-way.
I don't think it's I don't think if there was ever a protest, somebody's going to say whose fault that was. They both had a chance to back out of it. Let's see what happened to. Let's just stay with this for a second, because there's 5 cars under a blanket here. Although they seem to be sorting themselves out. Let's just have a quick look at what happened to Rob Ben. Don't think there was much in it. I think he just went straight.
Oh yeah, missed his brake marker. He did a Valtteri Bottas. He's just mowing the grass. Who did the same thing, I think, like 2 years ago in the Mercedes.
Yeah, but interesting what you were saying earlier. These two love to fight each other. They like to have bragging rights over each other, but they've got to be conscious of not letting Johnny Brandon get away, haven't they?
Yes, but I do think they did a good job, because Johnny always almost seemed to gap them with it. Oh, and that's Spencer, and it looked like it was side by side, but that was been wrong.
Yeah, that's Adam putting a lot of pressure on Sam Blease.
It looked like Johnny was already going to run away with it, but they figured a way to keep pace and still fighting, as it seems. So now they're within a couple of tenths, which is amazing.
Yeah, and this is literally what Adam can see. There's 4 cars in front of him, not that you would know.
And if you're in this situation where Adam is like, oh, you see that car moving in, you're like, okay, how can I profit from this? So you see this going out, you're like, okay, I'm gonna take a different line and try to get to both of them. And he's actually seen it. Oh! And I don't think he hit, to be honest.
It looked like it, didn't it?
Proper reactions from him. Yeah, so you see the car in front of you trying to make a move, and you're always thinking like, how can I get them both at the same time? And a really late move from Sam, which was too late, to be honest.
That was very late.
And he's already apologized on the radio chat.
This is looking back from Johnny Brandon. See, there's a little bit of action there. It's just split these two out. But what I didn't see, because I did it, was Jamie. Just being old and decrepit.
So what happened with Sam and Jamie, as it looks like, that Sam was trying to avoid hitting Jamie. He was getting he was the closing speed was quite big. So I think he locked up a little bit, decided to go on the inside to avoid hitting him, and still hit him.
Yeah, let's have a look, see if Wobbly is correct, which I'm sure he is. It was a late...
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looked like he missed his break point, didn't he? And then had to... It wasn't a send down the inside, it was a trying to avoid hitting Jamie Wilson move.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened, and it's pretty much spot on what we were just talking about with how little you see when racing somewhere this close.
Yeah, well, that's left Simon Trendle to have a pop at Johnny Brandon. I'm sure we've seen this before once or twice.
We've seen them. Yeah, so not to disregard how well Johnny has been doing. I do like to see a different winner, and it has nothing to do with Johnny. Just I want to see a different winner.
And just further back in the field, JB Dejoux is under pressure from Sam Boozin. Look at the state of Bingham's car.
Really good.
What has he done?
Well, it's a French car, so it doesn't need any downforce at all. And I, to be honest, I drive a Clio. Well, not anymore, by the way, because I just my lease just ended. But whatever. I drove a Clio. I hit a pole with like freaking 3 kilometers an hour, and the whole front was bent, and the radiator broke. I think like a lot of cables broke as well. The combustion engine broke, and I swear to God, I only hit it with 3 kilometers an hour because I was driving away and just didn't see the pole, and it cost me like 6,000 euros to repair it.
Oh dear, oh dear. It's all
So
kicking off back down here.
Oh, that's great to see. Like they're all moving across from each other without hitting each other.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, that's a late dive.
Rob's on a recovery, and he's literally in the last 2 corners got past Sam Boozin and JB Dejoux.
Yeah, it looks like he has a little bit of pace over the guys behind Sam, Pete, and JB.
Yeah, and Pete just passed JB as well, so it doesn't look like, for all the damage on Pete's car, it doesn't look like he's struggling on pace. Oh!
Damn, that was really close. Like a late look, and now Pete is like, yeah, I have no downforce, so I can go quicker on the straight.
If JB's listening, there is a tenner in it if you manage to punt Pete into tomorrow.
I'll make it 15.
Look at this, up front, Simon Trendle has a go, gets past.
Is Johnny able to cut back, because that is a corner where you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, and he kept it in front.
We've seen this before, haven't we? We've seen Simon get past Johnny and then Johnny come back again.
Yeah, but it's usually when Simon made a little bit, like a small mistake, when Johnny got back in front. So now it's all about Simon coping with the pressure Johnny's gonna put on him.
Well, and I tell you what, behind...
Oh, Big Peter's a slowdown.
If there's any toe there, Adam Wright is in it, and he's dragging Jamie Wilson and Sam Blees with him.
Oh no, Pete doesn't have a slowdown when he was wide. Yeah.
Pete is a slowdown. There goes Johnny again.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fight all the way to the end. But the way they're driving right now, they're gonna. Oh. And he's wide, but there isn't enough track, I think, because he kept it on.
That? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. If you go over the yellow curb, then you might be in trouble. But he didn't. But it's bringing them all back together.
Yeah, we're gonna have 5 under a blanket again shortly.
And Pete is getting shuffled backwards. Now JB passed him.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, JB got to slow down on the... Oh, I mean, Pete got to slow down.
Let's just have a look at that because we can. And it's somebody overtaking Pete. Yeah, Pete's on a different track. JB's on a different track.
It's that red bit on the left.
I think Pete got the slowdown and JB didn't.
Yeah. So the way it stands right now, we got Jim, what's happening at the
There's
front?
something we just missed.
I saw it in the standings. That's a messed up car.
Let's have a look from here, see if we can see anything.
Must have been between Johnny and... So they're side by side going to turn 4. Or 3, depending on your count. Mrs. Breakminer.
On his own.
Spin and...
Bumpy right has done Simon Trendle.
That's just... Yeah, I think that's unfortunate because Adam was just trying to hold the... Oh! He's trying to hold his throttle in. We're gonna have a different winner, and is it gonna be Sam who just turned up?
Don't say that yet. We've still got 9 minutes to go.
What? The way it stands right now, how close are they?
Well.
Oh wow, they're really close. Yeah. Okay.
That's how close. Johnny Brandon is lurking in the background.
He's like, guys, fight, you know, like being in middle school. And Sam outbroke himself and locked his right front. And now Jamie is trying to have a look, maybe going down the inside. While you're able to go around the outside with these cars, if you have a proper line and you don't hit the marbles too hard.
Yeah, Jamie's got to be careful because he has got the Chimera killer behind him.
Yeah. Jamie's taking a different line and focusing on the exit right there.
Adam's like, I'll just give it a couple of laps to calm down, then I'll kill somebody else.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna DM Adam a message like, you can't drive normal, you killer, you know, something like that, like da-dum, da-dum. Just have like that, like a soundboard.
Yeah, we need the Jaws music, don't we, every time he's coming up on somebody. But, Johnny Brandon will be driving the wheels off that Clio at the moment, trying to get back into this battle.
But it was an honest mistake, and it all happened because Simon kept pressuring Johnny into a mistake. Johnny made the mistake, and then Simon had a bad corner, which, to be honest, it started with his own mistake. And then Adam did Adam things, but it's all started with them fighting each other.
Yeah, and like you say, a rare mistake from Johnny Brandon. And it did look like Simon got that corner slightly where he seemed very slow on the exit. Sam's locked up again in the same place.
Why now? Jamie's gonna have a look.
Jamie's interested now.
Can we get the inside view of Adam? Like, inside view? I mean, on board?
Yeah, you can, if only I could read. There you go.
Oh, this is the view where Adam has. Like, this is a prime position. You would pay thousands of dollars to get this. And they almost collided. And now Adam is in the picture. He's going on the right hand side, and Sam is gonna force him to the right because I know how he drives.
Yeah, next turn is the left. He's still
and now
there.
he keeps lurking and he keeps his right front and his rear, and he's gonna kill
Adam's
again.
got another one.
180.
Oh, killer strikes again.
I'm sorry I got enthusiastic about that because it's I'm sorry for Sam, but it's just funny that Adam did it 3 times now.
Let's have a look at that because obviously we can only see it from inside.
It was perfect, to be honest. So going out the outside, Sam was a little bit wide, but on the entry, but he kept it together. And then there was.
Yeah.
Sam tried to keep his speed. Adam had nowhere to go because if he turned right a little bit or lifted off, then he wouldn't have got the corner. Maybe lifting off would have gotten him the corner, but his nose was like his front 2 wheels were at the rear 2 wheels or the axis from Sam. So I think we should call that an unlucky racing incident.
And look who's coming.
Yeah, that's Johnny. You can now. I'll still play the Jaws music if you want to.
Right, let's just have a quick look what's going on back here, because Bumpy Bingham, with half of his car, is still battling with JB.
Now, if I was Jamie, I would be terrified with Adam being
I
behind me.
would be pooping myself.
He's gonna kill again. He's on a roll now.
He's now officially a serial killer.
Oh, and Chris Dixon, 6? Who's that? Is he in the league?
Who the hell is Chris Dixon? What?
Is he? Yeah, I just saw him connect. So I don't know.
Oh right, yeah, it must be a viewer. I would have thought. Let's see. So it's not super duper close yet up the front. This is the best battle going on at the moment. This is a wounded Simon Trendle chasing Rob Venn, and Sam Boozin is trying to get involved in this.
Yeah, this seems like a fun battle as well. The front from Simon is completely gone, and he's gonna experience a lack of top speed, I'm sure. Although he is fighting for every position, because you see him moving out of the line a little bit, like to make sure, like, don't try to pass me, mate. I'm not gonna let you.
Yeah, I think Sam smells blood, doesn't he? He's certainly after that. The serial killer hasn't made a move yet on Jamie Wilson.
And we only have a couple of minutes left as well.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Oh, and Adam is giving a look on Jamie, but he bailed out on that. I'll keep a watch on that, and if something happens...
No, this is a good battle, so let's have a look. Because Johnny's there to pick up pieces. You've got Adam Dharma in the middle.
And Dharma, yeah, that's a good one, man. Well, a quick focus on the lap times. Adam has the quickest lap time of them all right now, and Jamie looked up a little bit, but he got a good exit. So Adam has the quickest lap time. We haven't seen much of Spencer, but he seems to be 4/10 up the pace compared to Jamie, Johnny, Sam, and he's on the pace from Rob Fenn at the moment. Jamie did a 47.8, Adam did a 47.6, while Johnny did a 47.8. So it's real close, but it seems to be that without being in front, with getting the toe, you get a big advantage of 2/10, which is a lot on this track.
Yes, it certainly is. Jamie using all of the available track and a little bit more.
Yeah, he did a good job of steering it out. Just tried to get the extra run on the straight, and you see, hey, he's profiting from that right now. He's just pulling away.
So I think we may get one more lap after this one. So, Adam Dharma, where are you going to make your move?
Yeah, Bonnie wasn't waving his flag, so they got this lap and another one. Johnny is like, yeah, I just about to say that. That's great. Johnny's like, yeah, I'm not out of this. So Spencer is now in 4th position, while Sam is in 5th. And if we're gonna focus on the reverse grid, we got Sam using on pole position at the moment.
We certainly have. Johnny's flashing his lights, I think. Or that may have just been a reflection from the sunshine, I'm not sure.
If he did flash his light, good on him. Just flash on your lights, you know, it's fine. Pete hates it, so that's lovely.
Is the serial killer gonna get killed?
He did flash his lights, yeah. I think a couple of weeks ago I drove against this real-life BTCC driver, and he kept flashing his lights behind me. So I asked him, like, is there something wrong with your button? And he said, yeah, I'm just trying to be a pain, so to annoy you. I'm like, yeah, well, it didn't work.
Yeah, they are literally.
Johnny's having a look.
Just across the line to get in a final lap. So this is it. It is the closest battle on track, and it is for the podium positions.
No, and is Johnny gonna be capable of getting past them both to make it 5 out of 5? I'm excited to see if he does something crazy or Adam tries to kill another one. Oh, a
There
late dive
goes
from Johnny is gonna do them both. Oh, he almost ran into the back of Jamie, but now Adam is gonna have the better exit.
One
Probably
down, one
not
to go.
ish. Oh, and Johnny is gonna be all over it. He's gonna be eating his steering wheel.
Yeah, the postman sent it.
Lick it and stamp it. What does Ricciardo say? The honey badger. Oh, and Adam missed his brake marker. He tried to kill another one. You saw that.
Yeah, and Jamie locked up.
And now is Spencer McCarthy gonna get that third position, or is Adam back on track? Oh, he's back on track.
So,
Yeah.
half a lap, less than half a lap.
And it's gonna take a real last-ditch attempt to get past him right now, because these corners are all fast corners, high speed. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it 5 out of 5.
He's certainly give it his best shot.
Just to give it one comment to Gary, yeah, bin it or bin it right. That's probably the right name.
Oh, yeah, I think he's gonna hold on.
And that's Jamie's third win, because he won an F4 race, he won 2 Clio races, one in Meter Day, so that's win 3 for him.
Well, that was interesting.
It was a lovely race, and I think we've seen it's inherited to how these cars drive that we see incidents. Like they're all on the pace.
Simon Trendle having a bit of fun there. 2 very damaged Clios.
Simon Trendle is gonna have the reverse pole.
So
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Yes. How much of...
Pete's car looks like a mess. They don't have a bonnet anymore.
Okay, so we're just going to wait for Alan Toon to come across the line. Okay, so let's click some buttons and see if we can get... Wowzers. Okay, so round 5 results. First win of the season, and first win for somebody that wasn't called Johnny Brandon. Jamie Wilson, Team Chimera. Johnny Brandon came second for XVR, and Spencer McCarthy up there in third after an accident right at the start for Bumfluff Racing. Rob Venn, told you, he's done it again. Look, he's up there in fourth for BSTV Esports. Sam Boo's in fifth. Hang on, what's going on here?
It did just. Oh, wait, what?
Oh, I see. Something must have happened, because we thought Simon was in 8th, didn't we? Sam Boo's in 5th, BSTV Esports 2. Simon Trendle in 6th for Team Chimera. Pete Bingham 7th for BSTV Esports 3. JB Dejoux 8th for BSTV Esports. Adam Wright 9th. That will be what it is. BSTV Esports 2. 10th was Sam Blees for Bumfluff Racing. 11th was Darren Reynolds for WKG Motorsport. And 12th was Alan Toon. So I think Adam Wright possibly got a back flag and got bumped down the grid with maybe Sam Blees as well.
Oh, he might have had too many incidents, because obviously he had 2 4X.
Yeah.
And then probably a couple of off tracks.
That has put JB Dejoux on pole. So myself and Wobbly will go and get ourselves some refreshment, and we will play you a couple of videos of other things that we do. Welcome back, everybody. So, if you fancy a blast in a TCR or a Mighty V8, visit our website, get signed up, and you could be racing with us and having our terrible commentary follow you round the racetrack. So, a cracking race 1 there, Wobbly. Race 2, shuffle of the grid order. The opening 4 rounds, we haven't seen that make much of a difference because Johnny Brandon managed to get himself through for the win, but slightly different this time round.
Yeah, my expectations are completely different compared to the first 2 races. Bless you. They're completely different from the first 2 races. First 4 races. Sorry. We got Sam. What was the first grid again? I think we got. What? Who's on pole?
It was JB, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Johnny and Simon got shuffled back. Simon is on 3rd position, so he's gonna barge through instantly, and then we're gonna see the different kind of game because Johnny was usually the guy who got in front as quickly as possible. And now it's the other. The tables have turned quite a bit. Now it's Simon, and he has to get past Sam and Spencer, which don't give any room. In a good racing way, in a good proper way, they give you the room if it's there. If it's not there, you're not gonna get space. So I'm quite curious to see how Johnny is gonna handle that. And again, Pete wasn't that slow. He was just slow with a slow car, driving slow. I still expect him to be at least top 5 next as well.
That is a really good point. It's a bit of role reversal, isn't it? You do sort of expect Simon Trendle to get out in front, and Johnny Brandon is the one that's got to get through the field and try and catch him up. But knowing Johnny, he's going to enjoy it. So I will bring you the grid whilst Wobbly extends the grid so we can get through all of this. So there you go. JV Deju, BSTV Esports up there in pole position. Pete Bingham, BSTV Esports 3 in 2nd. Simon Trendle, Team Chimera in 3rd. Sam Boozin, BSTV Esports 2 in 4th. Rob Venn, BSTV Esports in 5th. Spencer McCarthy, Bumfluff Racing in 6th. Johnny Brandon, XBR in 7th. Jamie Wilson, winner of race 1, Team Chimera, starts 8th. Adam Dharma starts in 9th for BSTV Esports 2. Sam Blees, Bumfluff Racing in 10th. 11th is Darren Reynolds, WKG Motorsport. And Alan Toon goes off in 12th position.
Yeah, one quick comment. We haven't seen much of Darren and Alan because there was so much to do on track. I think that if Darren and I know Alan, they're gonna stick to the car, and they're gonna nail this eventually. It just takes a little bit longer, which is fine. But it's great to see them having their own race and driving their own battle.
Oh, without a doubt, yes. And we're obviously missing our other Darren tonight, aren't we? Darren Rayfield.
Yes. Let's focus on the race, and let's focus on the race. So I can start real quick, and I have one general comment after that. It's just, we got a lot on. So, start. Are we gonna see the same thing again? It all looked like they were going 12 wide at the first corner and 14 wide at the second corner.
Well, for a start, and from last week, Pete Bingham is not going to give anything away, is he?
No, except his front bumper.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, he will drop down the order, but the first couple of laps, he'll be up there until he gets lost. Lights are coming on. We're about to go. Race 2. We're away.
Oh, Pete had a really good start, to be honest.
I was literally going to say that. It was a cracker of a start from Pete.
And he's already... Yes, send it. You're in the position right now. Oh, and JB overshot a little bit, and now Simon has a good run going on the outside. In the backfield, we see, I think that's Spencer, it's Sam Blees and Adam Wright going side by side as well. Wright following Jamie Wilson.
Yeah.
Right in front of that, we see Johnny and, is it Spencer going side by side.
Yeah, it's 2 by 2 by 2 by 2.
And Simon is already having a look at JB, but JB is having none of it. Oh, he's a little bit wide. That might be a slowdown. And now, you're in the position that Simon is going to be able to overtake JB. And he's going to run away from Pete. So now the tables have turned. Because he's on the right side. But JB had a proper run, as it seems. Is he going to fight this? I tell him elbows out. But he didn't.
No, I think Pete's just done as usual.
That's class. He's going back to Donny Yard, go Silverstone. Bye. That was class.
So,
and even JB is really close, even though it's one corner. He's still really close to Simon.
Yeah, it's again, you know, we're what 8, 9, 10 cars deep in this battle at the moment, and everybody's going for it. But JB is having a drive here.
He's having the drive of his life. He's trying to. He's like, I'm fighting Simon. What's going on? You know, and he's taking the inside line. Oh, send it. That's the proper racing I always tell you, JB. Come on, boy. Good defending by Simon, by the way, by keeping it wide. He saw him coming.
Sam Blees is having a go. Sam boozing, so we've got a Sam battle. Oh, hang on, hello, Sam boozing just overshot there.
Ooh, that might be slow down.
Johnny Brandon, oh, this is great. Johnny Brandon is in a bum fluff sandwich.
Yeah, usually it's like a Geo sandwich, now it's a bum flop. I've been there, it's hard. And JP is giving proper pace with Simon. He's really giving him a run for it.
Yeah, he's not letting him get away.
Johnny just passed Sam, but they're still side by side though.
Yeah, and Adam Wright is in that battle as well with the bum fluff boys.
Yeah, he managed to squeeze in between Spencer and Sam, I think. And now Sam is trying to outbrake Johnny, and now it's the Constantina effect.
Yeah, little touch there from Dharma.
Yeah, watch out. He's gotta grab the hatchet. Oh, is Johnny gonna come back on the inside on Sam? Real good racing by both of them. If they're gonna get through this corner alive, that is... Wow.
Yeah, Sam had to bail a little bit there, didn't he?
And now Adam has a good run, and Spencer's like, I'm gonna push you. Like, you see him bump off because he even remembers Daytona. Oh, that's a proper move by Spencer, by the way, because he just kept running in the back of Adam to get past Sam.
Yeah, Rob Venn is now a bit closer to JB than JB is to Simon Trendle. But
and what's your opinion?
This battle.
Sorry. Yeah, what's your opinion about this? Because I think that JB and Rob are really showing proper pace, but I do think that they are hanging on because of the toe. Oh, they're rubbing!
Blue on blue.
Oh, both of them! Oh, and then he's waiting, and that's blue on blue.
Oh, we need to have a look at that again.
Oh man, yeah. If you only would have used Crew Chief Spencer, then that wouldn't have happened.
We do like a blue on blue.
So it all started back here when Johnny made his move on Sam.
Yeah.
Spencer was like, yeah, I want to get through, and he kept pushing at him. And you already see Sam moving a little bit, like, oh, I'm going to get out of the way because I lost his position. He ducks back in. They all have a really good final sector. A little bit wide from Johnny, to be honest. I think he got enough track there. Then he got a good run on Adam.
Yeah.
Adam kept the inside, but the back run, I think because of the toe, Spencer got a little bit of a better run, eventually. Because he got the triple toe. Got a little bit wide, turned in, and then just hit the rear. Sam just got sent wide a little bit by his entry. Yeah, it's... man.
One of them where the cars lock together, isn't it? And, you know, sometimes you get away with it, but most of the time you don't.
Yeah. Like, you're trying to steer out of it, but, like, the person on the outside can't steer to the left, because otherwise you're gonna miss the corner, and just collide together.
So Johnny Brandon needs to pick off Rob Venn and JB Dejoux before he can even think about chasing after Simon Trendle. But we're only 5 minutes in.
So Simon just put in the fastest lap at 47.9. The fastest lap from last race was at 47.6 if I remember correctly.
So let's have a look at this from Johnny's perspective.
The killer got killed. Oh no, it's Rob, sorry.
No, that was Rob, yeah.
Yes. I think, looking at that from this perspective, without have seen the replay, I think that Rob moved across.
I'm going to say yes, I agree with you. I think Johnny's nose was already there.
It was like a gap. It's not a gap, but it was. Yes, I mean, hard to tell.
Unfortunate, I think.
Although, I mean, I would have done the same thing as Johnny to clear his name. I would have done the same thing. But then again, the wise thing to do is just lift off a tiny second. I think.
Yeah.
Which he's entitled to that piece of tarmac, that piece of road. But
I think that's the beauty of the racing.
Oh, late move! Oh, late move by Johnny on the inside. Like he dummied him, and now he's on the inside, and it's gonna JB gonna get. He's pushing him. That's his elbows out, JB. I like it. And now Johnny does the same thing, and Adam is through, and Johnny's doing the reverse.
Adam's killed both of them.
Somebody said sorry. JB said sorry in the chat.
Right, let's have a look at that.
And Johnny said sorry as well. Oh no, not resetting JB.
So Johnny's up the inside. Now, that's rough, but fair. And
yes.
to be fair to JB, he was
JB's broken.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm not having that. I'm keeping my foot in. So, yeah.
Yeah, so the reason I applaud this for JB, I've said this on several occasions. I'm the person who wants to see him race because I know he can. And now, yeah, it tends to end up in incidents if you do like this. But then again, you know you can get away with it 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, and I was, before those shenanigans happened, I was going to say, that is one of the things you get with these types of cars. It's a momentum car, and if you've got the momentum, you've got to keep your foot in. Because if you back out, even for a fraction of a second, it's going to take you another 2 laps to get in that position again. So, it was unfortunate, but, that's why we love these cars.
Yeah, and it's, touring cars is dropping, touring cars is racing, but these are on another level of racing, and Adam, and he's...
No, it's Rob.
Sorry, it's Rob. Rob was just trying to get as much drift points as you possibly can. I give it like 500 out of 7. But these cars are even closer than the TCRs. So the margins within the what they're racing with are so small and so narrow that it's bound to cause some incidents. And we don't want to see incidents, although it's exciting. We don't want to see them. But it's one of those things that just happens.
Yeah, and that is basically, at the moment anyway, spread the field out a little bit.
It did, yeah.
Simon Trendle has got a near 4
Johnny's
second
parking
gap.
it. Johnny just parked the car.
Okay, let's see what happened.
My guess is that his steering was off. I haven't seen it. Go to live and I go
he's
back.
just pulled over, isn't he? Yeah.
So let me see the cockpit. The steering looks wonky a little bit. Hit the curb, hit the inside, and just parked it. maybe there was a dead zone in the middle, and it's just like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna finish this.
Well, yeah. You know what they say? The king is dead. Long live the king.
So, I mean, this is the first one. We first got to see Jamie win the first race. Then we got to see probably Simon win the second race. So we got 2 different winners tonight.
Yeah, and as much as you don't want to see drivers having problems, from the championship point of view, it's not a bad thing.
So can we? JB and
still
Spencer.
racing.
Yes, JB and Spencer are going for it. Who would have thought that JB would fight Spencer?
Yeah, both of these cars have
JB is
been in the
being
pits.
wide. Spencer is being really wide, so keeping it super wide. And I
JB's
think
gonna
that
do him.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have kept it this wide for Sam. But JB is a respectful guy. We always respect JB. So my general comment, side by side, by the way, wait, let's focus on this, wait. It's side by side, and it almost looked like Spencer is teaching him, like, this is how you race side by side. It looked like he's holding back a little bit, which is fine. I mean, this is great racing.
Let's see if we can do a whole lap side by side.
Spencer and me tried to do a whole lap inside each other on the Circuit of Americas.
I don't want to know about your sexual favours with Spencer, thank you.
What's quite fun to me is we came out of the pits at the same time and we were in each other. Like the cars weren't colliding yet, and we kept doing that the whole lap.
Race 1 winner Jamie Wilson put a move on Darren Reynolds, so he's now going to go shooting up the road, see what he can do about Rob Venn. Meanwhile, these two are still at it.
Yeah, Spencer had a wobble in the middle of the first corner, and JB got a better exit. And now they're side by side again. An American against a British person. I mean, it's hard to side favors, but I'm definitely going with the American.
Well, these boys look like they're having a bit of fun.
This is good to see. It's the closest battle on track as well, so that's why the main focus on this. Meanwhile, Simon, Adam, and Sam music and P3. That can't be right. And Pete Bingham after his little detour on Silverstone is in P4.
Yeah, because everybody else is throwing it off the track.
And is he close though to Sam? He isn't close.
No, there's Pete.
No, he's not close. He's
miles away.
Miles away. Yeah, he's quicker though than Sam. He's about 3 or 4 tenths quicker than Sam at the moment.
I think we just need to teach JB how to stop on the apex now.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's okay. JB on the outside got a good run on Spencer. I know you can't do anything or just super little on the setup, but to see this, Spencer giving JB a fight, that's great to see.
JB, are we learning a lot from this?
Yes.
Oh, Spencer was on the grass there.
Maybe that's the fastest line we didn't explore yet. And a little touch from Spencer on the rear from JB. Maybe he's trying to unsettle him a little bit and to overshoot it.
Yeah, well, sometimes that can be enough, can't it? If you're right at your braking zone, and then somebody just gives you that extra mile an hour punt from behind.
It definitely does. I remember a situation where me and Spencer were fighting on Lime Rock in the TSCR BSTV, and he tapped me on the last corner, which was fine, but it just gave me like 3 kilometers extra, and I missed my apex due to that, and it was a fair move, but it definitely is like one of those smart things you could do, you know.
Yeah, Jamie Wilson is closing on Rob Venn slowly. We will switch to that if anything happens. Apart from that, everybody else is fairly well spaced out, which is something I don't think we're going to say next week, Wobbly, when we visit Knock Hill.
Oh, Knock Hill in these cars. I haven't tried it. I haven't. I haven't tried it, but it seems amazing. Is it the reverse one or is it the normal one?
No, it's the normal this time round, and then the reverse one towards the end of the season.
Because the reverse one is... I'm not the biggest fan of Knock Hill, I'll be honest. But I'm a big fan of the reverse one. That has so much more... it has the it factor to it. Well, the normal Knock Hill is all about, are you able to fly over the bumps, you know? While the reverse one is more about how technically hard the track is.
Yeah, I think the reverse one is more, why are we doing it this way round? A reverse track just confuses you, doesn't it? Because you know, people have probably done hundreds or thousands of laps around Knock Hill, and then all of a sudden you throw a reverse into it, and you're like, oh, I've done hundreds or thousands of laps around Knock Hill, but this is a totally different level. I'm going to have to switch to this battle because it's on now. Jamie Wilson looking for 5th place over Rob Venn.
The thing I wanted to mention at the start, and before we started, I just wanted to point out how strong the field is. We have Simon Trendle with 5.8k, Adam Wright with 4.1, Sam Busing 2.6, Peter Bingen with 0, Rob Fenn with 2.1, Jamie 3.9, Darren Reynolds 1.3, and then we got Sam Blees 5.5, Alan Toon 600, JB 2.7, Spencer 6, and Johnny 5. I mean, they're all I ratings, and it's insane. Like the average at the moment is 3k.
Yeah.
And that is with no disrespect to Alan, with 600 at the moment. He can easily get 1500, so that's, I don't worry about that. But if you pull that up, it would be even 3.2. So the amount of quality in the field is insane.
Yes, and this is a Clio race.
And it is a Clio race, yes. Let's not forget that. So how many laps did they do in the first race?
Let's have a look quickly.
They did 12.
Leader is, so I don't think they're going to get. He's going to get another one in.
No, I think the track was heating a little bit compared to the first race.
So
it's going to be 11 laps.
I think Jamie Wilson might have got this done now.
And it looked like he overshot a little bit, and Rob has a better exit. JB is
definitely
go ahead. JB's a fair driver. Once he knows you have the overspeed on the exit, he doesn't close the door. He leaves the space for you to be able to fight him. And again, he overshot, but I think he has the better line.
Yeah. I think
this is what we
straightened out that corner a bit, isn't he?
This is what we mentioned on the lap we spoke about in quali with JB. Just keep it on the outside, and you get a better run on this straight.
So we did have this happen, just so he doesn't feel left out.
Doesn't feel left out.
I think he might just overshoot turn 1. Yes.
Ooh, he locked him hard though. That line, to be honest, that looked pretty great. Is that a different layout with the chicane on the outside?
So Simon Trendle is going to take his first win of the season.
Oh, is it?
No, was that a white flag?
It's white flag.
That was white, yeah. I didn't think they was going to get round, but they have. So, what have we really got? A close battle. These are still at it. Spencer did get in front for a little while, but Jamie has come back.
With no disrespect to JB, I think that Spencer is trying to give him a proper battle. And I think this is good for him. I think this is teaching him, just fight, you know, just do a Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Just press X the whole time. Use your Xbox controller.
Yeah, how wide can you make that Clio?
Yes. And that's I mean, me and Spencer, we've been in a proper tussle before. But this is what I appreciate about the guy. He likes racing, you know. Even if it means trying to teach someone something. Again, not that I'm disregarding the pace from JB compared to Spencer. I'm just saying that it's great to see that he, because I think that Spencer is a little bit quicker at the moment. But it's great to see that he's forcing JB to increase his racecraft, you know.
Definitely, because JB's learning, you know, where Spencer is better than him, how he gets a better run. And hopefully JB from that will be able to go, right, well, if I'd have put my car here, or if I'd have put my car here, he wouldn't have got that run. And, you know, we're always learning.
Yeah, and we've seen massive improvement from JB last couple of years, or last couple of seasons as well. Sorry, let's go back to Simon.
Yeah, Simon Trendle taking his first win of the season. And second win of the night for Team Chimera. Adam
Stellar
Wright,
job.
lonely is what I meant to say. Second place, and Sam Boozin in third. That's a shocker.
That's a shocker, yes. And meanwhile, Sam Blees got the quickest lap. 47.8. So that's two BSTV drivers on position 2 and 3, and this is Darren Reynolds. We haven't. Oh, sorry. This is Darren.
Yeah, that's Darren.
This is Darren. We haven't mentioned him much, but B7. I mean, hats off to him. Clean racing. We haven't seen him on the broadcast because he just kept on going. No fights. And took advantage of all the shenanigans which happened in front of him.
Alan Toon is going to finish in front of Spencer McCarthy, JB Dejoux. Oh, he's coming in the pits.
What's going on there?
Surely
Maybe
not out of
maybe he got lapped.
Or is it a drive of shame?
Oh yes, maybe. Now Spencer and he came over the line. But I think if he actually is a drive of shame, he gets penalized by it.
He will possibly get a time penalty on top of that. So that is everybody finished. Let's have a look, see if we can get some sort of results up. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He got a penalty. Okay, so race 2, which is round 6, winner Simon Trendle for Team Chimera. Adam Wright second, BSTV Esports 2, with teammate Sam Boozin in third. Pete Bingham, BSTV Esports 3 in fourth. Jamie Wilson, race 1 winner, 5th for Team Chimera. Rob Venn 6th, BSTV Esports. Darren Reynolds 7th for WKG Motorsports. Sam Blees and Spencer McCarthy finished 8th and 9th respectively for Bumplop Racing. JB Dejoux was 10th for BSTV Esports. Privateer Alan Toon in 11th. And the quitter, Johnny Brandon, 12th for XVR. Right,
yes.
So there was a lot kicking off in that race. Some unfortunate incidents, but that's what you get with hard racing, isn't it, Wobbly?
Yeah, we've seen more incidents in these 2 races than we've seen over the last 4. I do think that like 3/4 of the incidents were all Adam's fault.
Yes.
So
and the other quarter were Pete's fault.
Yeah, and the other quarter were Pete's fault. So taking that in car, we've seen no incidents besides the blue on blue from Spencer and Sam. No, but it was a little bit more hectic. But I think that with what's the track called again? Red Bull Ring. Jesus. So with Red Bull Ring having all these fast corners in these type of cars, it was bound to be a little bit more chaotic than the other races. We've been on Silverstone Silverstone National. We've been on Lime Rock, which is small as well, but it has slow corners. And on Rebel Ring, you have a lot of quick corners, and you have to send it to get through. Yeah, some were unfortunate, some were misjudgment, but it all led to two different winners. It all led to great racing. We've seen a couple of great battles at the front, in the middle. We haven't seen much battles at the back, but I'm pretty sure and I'm convinced that it's going to happen eventually in the remaining of the season.
Yeah. Well, I've got a treat for you, Wobbly. We've spoke about him for a lot of that race. Our first interview tonight is going to be JB Dejoux.
Welcome to the booth, JB.
Well, thank you, Wobbly.
It looked like you were... Well, let's start at the beginning. So, first race. It seemed like you were a little bit off the pace.
I was very much off the pace. Those two left benders about halfway through, I couldn't get those to save my life. Not that I figured out in the second race, but that's all right. I had fun.
That's the most important thing, to be honest.
It is.
It looked like you were quicker than the guys behind you, and you were slower than the guys at the back of the midfield in the first race. You had how many incident points did you end up with on the first race? Do you remember?
Almost all of them. I think I had 13. I finished with
13, and yeah.
And then Sam Blees and Spencer, they both ended up. They had black flags, so they couldn't spend, and so that's what put me on pole for the second race. So I thank them both very much.
Well, yeah. So it looked like you were in the beginning. Look at the second race. Let's go to that. Like the first, let's say 4 laps. It looked like you were keeping pace with Simon.
I was very pleased, and then I pulled one of my kill somebody. So that was. I'm gonna chalk it up to a racing incident, but I tend to go into some people sometimes, so I don't know what it was.
I was applauding the fact that you were keeping up with Simon, and after that we saw you and Spencer having a tussle. And I mentioned
we
this
had a great time, yeah.
I mentioned this a couple of times. I think, as I said to Clyde, I think that Spencer was holding back a little bit, but it was like a really good experience because the fight was great to watch.
Oh, it was good fun to be in too. So, unfortunately, I had to look at his paint the whole time, but I got over that. So
because you were going side by side a couple of corners, and I'm being in, like, let's say at the back of the midfield, like in TCR, you have your fights, but being side by side like this, that must have been great.
It really was. It was Spencer, no less. So, he really knows how to drive, and I felt he was giving me a little lesson as we were going. So
we were talking about it. It was good fun,
though.
Yeah.
He was bumping me in the back, and I think I tagged him in the back a couple of times. The first race, poor Pete. He didn't have any arrows, so I kept on pushing him along as much as I
could. Don't help Pete. That's the general rule, right?
I felt bad. I went by him. He had no hood. He had no front bumper.
It looked like definitely you had fun the second race. So I want to congratulate you on the race, not on the position, but on the race because it looked fun. It looked great.
It was a blast. I feel bad for Johnny. I think it was. I am going to still toss it up to an incident, but
it was an incident.
We were both well off track, and he still kept on coming out, and so if it's any consolation, he was able to spin around and knock me out at the same time. So turnabout is fair play.
Me and Clyde wrote it off as a racing incident, right, Clyde?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
It was Johnny doing a late move. Yeah.
And plus, just prior to that, he killed my teammate just prior to that. So
yeah, he deserved it. Right. Wow! Congratulations on your racing.
Rob told me not to worry about it. So
no, you shouldn't. Congratulations on your result, despite being a little bit lower than you expected. You did seem to have the pace. Anybody you want to give a shout out or thank?
Well, you guys and all the racers again. Sorry to Johnny and thanks to Rob for being my teammate and the rest of BSTV And this is just the great thing about this. It's no stress, arrive and drive, and nobody can really get away from anybody. So there's always going to be somebody to battle with. So it was just good fun. Thanks, guys, for everything. I really appreciate it.
Great having you, Jimmy.
See you.
Okay, so JB there. So I suppose we better talk to a race winner or two. So let's bring in Mr. Jamie Wilson. And yes, I managed to catch him halfway through a conversation. Jamie, welcome to the booth.
Hello, hello.
So we've got a notch in the W column, but it certainly wasn't easy, was it?
No, I mean, it was assisted by shenaniganry. But yeah, no, that was pretty sketchy holding on at the end there. I was just saying I could hear the Jaws music in the background with Johnny chasing me down right on that last lap.
Yeah, and obviously before that, we had Adam Dharma trying to kill as many people as he possibly could, and then he was behind you. That must have been, quite scary after watching him kill a couple of people, and then all of a sudden, he's got you as the next target.
Yeah, it's a bit like doing one of those sort of shark dives when you're in the little cage. You can see it coming.
Yeah.
I don't know when you need to. Have you already got an appointment booked him to get him defanged by any chance?
and then, like you say, Wobbly wrote Johnny off 10 minutes into that race, I think. And I kept saying, he's coming. And then he was right there, wasn't it? But I think at the end of that race, it was basically if you didn't make a mistake and if Johnny didn't punt you, the victory was yours.
Yeah, I mean, he's so fast in this car. It's unbelievable. And I was just trying to maximise everything as best I could, like you say, not making any mistakes. But it's such a fine line. Like you go down, especially here, the downhill braking, as Pete will know from race 2, into turn 4. You're just so on the edge. You can feel the fronts just trying to ever so slightly under rotate there, and you've only got to put 1% more brake pressure on the 1/10 of a second the wrong time of when you do, and you'll lock the car up. So it's certainly, that's the thing I love about this car. It's basically 100% full commit, full beans, throwing it at the scenery and missing.
Yeah, I can totally understand what you're saying there. Race 2 was a little bit quieter for you, wasn't it? Obviously, winning race 1 means you start in 8th position. Mm-hmm. Assisted again. We had a blue on blue. We had other people coming together. But you didn't really manage to make inroads into, you've got some specials that finished in front of you in that race. Was there anything going on at your end, or was it?
No. It was just I was that far. But so the incident up at turn 3 obviously caught me and many other people out. And Johnny did the right thing, sort of being just out of it. But then we all had to react to that, and we just collectively didn't do that good a job of it. And I had the double whammy of then hitting Johnny, having sort of locked the car up in sympathy, really. And then I think it was Adam behind me then hit me into him at the same time. So it really did a number on my car, and I had a meatball straight away. That's why I sort of backed out. I'm glad I did, actually, because my steering was bent and I was sort of in the middle of the field going into turn 4. And I thought, this could not go well. So I sort of just backed out, went to the back, and sure enough, any time I turned left, the car was crabbing quite a bit. So, I got into the pits, did the fast repair, came out, and then was just, flat chat thinking, I can't be beaten by Pete. And that's the thing I'm most disappointed about, that I didn't manage to catch him.
That is worse than a drive of shame, to be honest.
That is a drive truly of shame.
But a half decent haul of points for you. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to everyone for just doing a great job. The 2 geodesic boys that jumped in, obviously not that familiar with the car at this point. Still did very well. It is nuanced to drive. I'll put it like that. No ABS, which they're not used to from TCR, where everything's got ABS. There's a crutch because we've got the Emerson cars. And yeah, yourselves are putting it on. I think this track probably stretched us out a little bit compared to normal.
Yeah.
But then this is one of the kind of oddball ones on the calendar, isn't it?
It certainly is, and everybody's going to be inside everybody else's boots next week at Knock Hill. I would have
Knock
thought.
Hill and Alton Foster's after that as well be very similar. So we'll be back to regular shenaniganry there, I think.
Excellent. Well, I say congratulations on your win, and we'll see you next time out, Jamie Wilson.
Yep, thanks guys, but not wobbly.
Yes.
The wobbly hating has started already. Okay, so let's bring in Simon Trendle, race 2 winner for you, Wobbly.
Yes, Simon, congratulations on your second race.
Oh, not wobbly. No. Yeah. Race 1 set that up, didn't it? And I didn't really have much to do. I was hoping that people were going to come back with a pack and it's going to make it interesting, but nah.
First race, Simon. You guys were having fun, and then it seemed like you and Johnny were really close. I felt like you were having more pace than Johnny. Did you feel that as well, or did you experience that another way?
No, I think we're about the same pace. I think we just, if one of us in front of the other, we make mistakes. So that just causes us to concertine together.
So because what happened? You saw Johnny making a mistake, and you were like, "I'm gonna throw it off as well."
Yeah, both of us locked the brakes going side by side into that corner, and then. Well, I didn't lock the brakes. I was right on the edge of locking the brakes, but I didn't want to turn or brake any harder to get the apex. Because if you lock the brakes, you go straight forward at 400 miles an hour, which is what Johnny did, I think. And I just kept them on the cusp of locking and managed to make the corner. And then because I thought Johnny was still on my outside, because I'd had such a terrible bloody corner anyway, and then I was keeping a gap on my left-hand side. And then Adam was expecting me to move over to the left because Johnny wasn't there. And then we had the coming together. And then I got intimate with a wall. And then I had my crab vehicle, which weaved down the straight and was hilarious in front of Rob and Sam. Them trying to weave in my mirror and not being able to keep up. That's hilarious.
Yeah, because we deemed Adam Daimler.
Adam Daimler, yeah.
Because he kept killing everyone.
No, it's revenge for Silverstone, let's be honest.
It looked like Adam just didn't expect you to go that slow compared to him.
Yeah, I had no idea who anyone was around me. I was so focused on making the corner and not going straight off into the gravel by locking the brakes that I'd straighten the car up. And I was like, right, there's a gap on my left, there's a gap on my right. I'm going to hold this until I figure out where everyone else is in my mirror. And then the moment I thought that, I was 90 degrees facing right into the nearest wall. And yeah, I didn't have the chance to figure out where everyone was coming from at all. So,
and on the second race, you started, because of the very first grid, you started third position. It looked like a walk in the park, to be honest.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been, because if people had made it through, Johnny would have been able to catch me from 1.5 seconds back. I think he was roughly when I'd made it to the lead. He wasn't too far behind. I'm prone to making mistakes because I don't practice this car. I just turn up and drive it. So, I don't practice to go faster. I can get pretty reasonably quickly to my pace once I'm used to a car. It's making sure I don't make those silly small mistakes. So that's where the practice comes in. So I'm going to make them, and Johnny would have caught me probably. He'd at least got within 1.5 seconds, and then started putting me in. So yeah. I don't know, everyone else seems to have a worse race than me because I wasn't cruising, I wasn't pushing as fast as I could. So, yeah, I think everyone was just sort of spread out by that point, and it was no one was actually hoping to catch anyone.
No, you were hoping for JB to keep up with you, and he did for a couple of laps, which was great to see. Overall, thank you. Besides the first race, or the second race you could be pleased of. The first race was a bit unfortunate. I think that you had a good result. It was good to see you win, a double Chimera win in the first race. You got Jamie. Second race, you got you. I like a good team result. Any thoughts about the next scheduled track? Which was it again? Was it Foster's? No, it wasn't Foster's.
No, it's
Knock Hill. Sorry.
Knock Hill's awesome. It's a great track.
Even
second only to Donington.
Nobody said that ever. We're gonna scratch that from the recording. So, anybody want to give a shout out to or thank?
Yeah, you guys for doing the broadcast. Everyone who turned up. The air that I breathe. There we go. That's my random one for the day.
Yeah, nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that was very random. So we've got. Here we go. Welcome to the booth, Adam Dharma Wright.
Hello.
Hello. Let's talk through some of your incidents tonight, shall we?
I didn't have any, but there's cars in front of me that did.
There was it was a bit of a killing field for you tonight.
No, I think it was more suicide. Yep, I just kept my line, and they were just turning in front of me all the time.
And to be fair, we see that a couple of times tonight. Is that a little bit of a trait with this car? If you are that close to somebody, you just keep your foot in, and if they touch you, they're disappearing into the scenery.
Yeah, usually you say it with a swear word at the same time, like do it with a swear word, It seems that way, especially around here. But it was quite amusing, actually, because I think Sam and Spencer had a very similar incident to me and Sam. And it was funny listening to Sam try and talk his way, not out of it, but, excuse himself a little bit, maybe.
Well, if you ever need racing excuses, Pete Bingham has got various volumes of the book that he's writing for racing excuses. But how much fun are you having in this car?
Loads of fun. It's all going, we're all joking around, and we do. Well, I apologise to Sam. I didn't apologise to Simon. Screw Simon. But it's all good fun in there, really. Round the laugh, and it's good race. It is a bit strung out today, though. Unfortunately, it does. Yeah, it did break it up a little bit, which is the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, I think that's what happens if you get a few incidents in a race. But next time out, Knock Hill, that certainly isn't going to get strung out, is it?
No, we were just looking Knock Hill and then Alton Foster's. They're going to be two good tracks for this, so it'll be good fun.
Okie dokie. Well, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Pretty much anyone or everyone that exists except for Wobbly.
Excellent.
Nice.
That's what we like to hear.
How did you like my motivational talk?
I mean, it got me 2 kills, so yeah, it worked well. I liked it. Thanks for the tips, by the way, because I wasn't thinking about that rear quarter. I was going to kind of just shove him off the whole side, but yeah, you told me how to do it, and I appreciate that, Wobbly.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
There you go. So we all know who to blame for Adam's kills tonight. Well, congratulations on your second place in race 2, and hopefully we'll see you next time out, Adam Wright.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Okay, next up for you, we'll get our another podium finisher, who we don't normally get to talk to. It's Mr. Sam Boozing.
Welcome to the booth, Sam Boozing.
Hello.
So, you're in quite of a pickle, getting third position on the second race.
Yeah, it was good. It was a lonely race though, but it was good.
Yeah, because it seemed like you took advantage of everybody getting killed by everybody.
Yeah, it seems the way it works, at least for today, yeah. I'm glad I got a slowdown after first lap, so that way I was way behind everybody and I managed to avoid all the carnage.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen much of you during the second race. At a certain point, I think 15 minutes in, I was like, talking to Klaus, like, wait, Sam on third position? We were quite surprised because we haven't seen it on the broadcast or anything, well, on the second race at least. So I think that's a really good result, to be honest.
A pretty good result. Yeah, I saw the crash with Sam and Spencer. I then saw the crash with JB and Johnny. It was awesome from my spot. I think a better view than you on the broadcast.
And the first race, Sam. help me out here. Where did you finish? Like 8th?
Somewhere, then things got messed up because people got penalties at the end, but it was a bloody good race.
Fifth,
I had a lot of fun at the back.
Yeah, 5th for Sam in race 1.
It seemed you were fighting with 3 other guys, or 4 other guys, to be honest. Pete was trying to get through with no bonnet and with no spoiler, and JB was in there as well. You managed to keep him off, though.
Yeah, I think it was almost all of the BSTV guys except Adam, because he was doing stuff at the front. I don't know why. He wasn't playing the team game. A bit silly, even though he got a penalty for that. So that's fair on him. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. And yeah, I came up in front of everybody. I think every one of us could have been the first one of the BSTV guys. Was fun, except Pete. Pete's too slow.
Yeah, he's definitely too slow. One general thing, just one quick question about the car. And it's an easy question. Are you enjoying the Clio?
The car is rubbish. I hate it, but I love the racing.
Fair enough. And on that super bad note, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, all BSTV. It's awesome racing with all the guys. We had a few guests with Sam and Spencer with us today, Alan as well. So it was good fun. We had a good laugh, and yeah, all the people that raced. That's awesome. It's a good series. Should have more signups.
Well, we'll get there. I think if you guys gonna continue racing like this, it's gonna happen.
Hopefully.
Well, thanks. Congratulations on your result, and let's see you in the next one.
See ya.
Okay, so we're getting through it wobbly. Next up, I'm going to bring Johnny Brandon into the booth. Welcome, Johnny.
Hello.
Hello. No. Well, you normally get to hog the interviews because you win. So we thought we'd let you sweat it out tonight. So race 1, cracking race. Wobbly did. I'm going to tell you, he wrote you off halfway through that race. I didn't. I told him that you was coming, and lo and behold, right at the end there, we wondered whether you was gonna, take a shot at Jamie, but you didn't, and finished second.
I tried, to be fair. I just couldn't get close enough to him.
Yeah, he did actually drive very well on that last lap. We was watching the battle, but it's still kicking off, isn't it? It's you've got to be right up there, or risk whatever goes on in that midfield.
Yeah, I think the slipstream seemed to be really powerful here compared to the other circuits. It made a big difference here, which made it great in race 1. And I think I was side by side with Simon, and just for some reason locked the brakes up. I must have had a rush of adrenaline and just went straight on with locked brakes. I think he went off at the same time. And yeah, chasing back, I don't know if I heated the tyres or what, but the car didn't feel great, and I couldn't catch him. I got past Adam, but it turns out he was quite high on the incident limit, I think. So he was after you, left the door open, trying to survive, and yeah, I just couldn't catch Jamie. I was trying everything. I was taking the incidents and going wide because the car weren't handling to carry the speed. I still couldn't catch him. So fair play to Jamie.
Yeah,
nice for somebody else to win.
I think with Adam, I think by the time you got to him, he'd already killed half of the field anyway, so he was probably running around on 14 incident points. And then race 2, coming together with JB, looked, I don't know, to me it just looked like 2 hard racers keeping their foot in and not giving anything, and for somebody it was going to end in tears.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It was I think he was incredibly aggressive, but then I think I was aggressive as well. So I think it was just a silly one. Let's just say that. I'm not
Yeah, well,
say anything on an interview, but I think it was a silly one. There was some direction changes in the defence, blah blah blah, that wound me up. I thought he was being defended. I'd had an incident with Rob, and before that, where I was on the left of Rob. Rob didn't realise I was there. He thought I was behind him.
yes,
And it was
that's
coming
right,
left, and I'm thinking, I'm running out of room to keep going left, and suddenly he went across the front. I didn't think he was going to come that far over. And then I don't know if JB thought I'd taken his teammate out or something. He went really aggressively defensive, and then I just sort of went red mist and thought, well, I'm not backing down, and yeah, I lost.
Yeah,
So, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, that happens, doesn't it? And then you ended up parking the car. What was it? Just too much damage or too much red mist?
I too much damage. I think one of the Spencer or somebody had overshot the first on the first lap, turn 2, and give me 4 straight away. Incident points, and then I had another contact somewhere else from somebody else. That goes, I was on 8 straight away. And then before you know it, with them other contacts, I had a load of damage and was trying to drive the car. Went through turn 1 and got an X because it was hard to steer it, and that gave me a black flag, so I just parked it.
Right, that explains that. But I believe Never Quit Raging are still looking for drivers. If you want to
I
go
don't
that way.
rage. I don't rage. It's only a bit of fun. I'm not too bothered. I just leave it at that.
Yeah, well, no, I was about to agree with you, because I did sit and watch your streams for the first time after the racing last week, and
I apologise for the language.
no, don't worry about that.
Did you swear? You go in a naughty corner.
He did have to apologise to, was it your grandson for the language?
No, not that was my mate's son.
Ah,
Good
right,
friend's
okay.
son, yeah.
But I know we talk to you a lot. Just from your streams, it does look like you're having a whale of a time in this car, and a car that we wouldn't normally go, oh yeah, Johnny Brandon will sign up for the Clios. Of course he will.
I like racing. I don't care how fast or slow they are. I like racing. If everyone's got the same thing and the racing's good, that's what it's all about. A lot of people want to go for the fastest car possible, but the racing's terrible.
Yes.
You're just driving round. You're not racing. You get much better racing in slower cars. The V8's a slight exception for me because that's super fun to drive. It's like it's an art to drive that car.
Agreed.
So I enjoy driving that car. So the racing's good in that. Don't get me wrong. But I'll sacrifice a little bit of that for just the pleasure of driving that car and the effort of driving that car. But this is just a barrel of fun. So yeah, slightly frustrated at tonight that I've missed out on being able to have a race. But things happen. It's a Clio.
Yeah, and
That's
Knock Hill next week. That's going to be, how can I put it, interesting.
Yeah, there might be some knocks at Knock Hill.
Well, always a pleasure talking to you, Johnny. So great result in race 1, and disappointment in race 2. But I know you'll be back.
Good.
You'll be back next week. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Just you guys for putting this on. I'm a little bit flat because my race ended, and I was looking forward to that. But yeah, just you guys really. My teammates have all gone missing for this week, but I'm sure they'll be back. Or one of them, Daz will be back for next week. Darren Mayfield,
Wayne
I think.
won't be.
Wayne probably won't be next week, but
Yeah.
maybe the week after.
Okay.
So yeah, hello to them guys. Thanks to them guys, and we look forward to pressing the reset button for next week.
Excellent. Well, we will look forward to seeing if you can get back to winning ways next week. Johnny Brandon, thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Good night.
See you, mate.
Right, well, before we brought Johnny in, Rob Venn was there, but now he's gone. So, Wobbly, whilst I get some other bits set up, talk us through our night's racing in as short a possible time as you can.
Yeah, so first race, I think that after 2 laps, we didn't have a clue about who's gonna win it. We saw 12 cars on track, 12 Clio, Renault Clio cars, all were in contention for the win. And then they all decided to kill each other, and it all started out with Adam Wright trying to do the whole field. But we saw, especially at the front, we saw 5 cars fighting for it, I think till lap 6, before the killing started. And we've seen how tight these cars are, we've seen how close these cars drive, we've seen how close the drivers try to drive, and Johnny's interview is a prime example of people starting a league, not taking it too serious, and getting annoyed when they get killed, like a couple of races in. I completely get that because it's the competitive nature of us. First race, a blast of a race. Second race, we saw the field spread out a little bit after the blue on blue on Spencer and Sam, where Johnny and JB got into a tussle. As we mentioned on the stream, on the broadcast instantly, it is kind of inherent to the track. Then again, it's a fun track in the car. We saw good racing, we saw tight racing, and we saw Spencer and JB having fun during the race. We saw different winners. It's annoying for Johnny that he didn't win, but then again, we got 2 different winners from Team Chimera. It's gonna turn the tables a little bit on the championship, and it's gonna be closer at the top and even in the middle. So I think overall, we've been treated on 2 great races. That's my general opinion.
No, I can't disagree, and I think the only way to describe Adam Wright's racing tonight is an orgy of death. So there you go, folks. Now we switch to the most coveted award in sim racing, the driver of the season, which has to start with the driver of the meeting. So, Wobbly, who has caught your eye tonight? And it's a very, very mixed bag tonight.
Yes. So I
think I know where you're going, and I'm going to hover over it now.
Oh, is it? Okay, so the thing is that I struggled to find the best driver today. They were all good, but they all had incidents as well. But, and I think you know where I'm going. We spoke about him a lot this race, and my vote is going to JB.
I knew it. I was right. I should have put a bet on that. But I can't disagree. I think JB did really, really well tonight.
If I may interrupt you, I heard Johnny's opinion about the incident. I saw JB moving as well. I think he moved a little bit, and I think Johnny sent it a little bit. And in all fairness, I think that they were both in the wrong. JB trying to defend too hard, and Johnny trying to attack him too hard.
There's some sort of world first going on tonight, because I keep agreeing with you. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, as they say. Both drivers had a chance to do something different. Both drivers didn't do anything different, and sometimes shit happens. It's just the way racing goes.
To elaborate, just give you 1 second to elaborate on JB, because I think he did an awesome job, and Spencer was fighting him. I think JB didn't finish where he deserved, but seeing him following Simon the first 4 laps, that's what gave him the driver of the meeting for me. That's all.
Excellent. Okay, well, yeah, for me, I don't vote for winners. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. If I look at race 1, Jamie Wilson, winner, rubbish in race 2. Johnny Brandon, second, rubbish in race 2. Spencer McCarthy, third, rubbish in race 2. Rob Venn, fourth. Okay, mid-pack, race 2. Sam Boozin. I don't know what I'm doing here. I voted for Pete, and I'm going to vote for Sam, because he got 3rd place in the second race, and he was 5th in the first race, and he's probably done better than anybody else I expected tonight. So yeah, my vote's going to go at Sam Boozin. That's a really horrible thing to admit, but there we go. I've done it now. So you know, that's going to give us a lot of drivers on one vote, which is great, especially when we get towards the end of the season. I think we've had a cracking night's racing tonight. I think, you know, the track, it's a cracking track. I thought it was going to be probably a bit closer, but I think the incidents in race 2 made the cars spread out. So onwards and upwards, and off we go to Knock Hill next time out. A big thanks to the drivers that showed up. There was some really good racing there tonight. Thanks to everybody on the chat. Bit quiet tonight on the chat, but you know, we don't mind because it gives us a chance to concentrate on the racing. Big thanks to Wobbly for joining me in the booth as usual. It's been fun. It's going to get a whole lot funner. That's not a word, but I just made that up. And I'm sure I've just seen a dog kennel on the track.
I saw the thing on the right as well. I thought it was like, it's like a Jesus bracket thing. What is it?
It's either a dog kennel or a house for midgets. I don't know. But yeah, that just totally threw me then. Yeah, big thanks to Wobbly for joining me in the booth. We're off to Knock Hill next time out. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Just leaves me to say good night. Let Wobbly say good night, and then we'll close the broadcast. Wobbly can go off and play toy soldiers with the boys, and I can go to bed. So good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.
Yeah, good racing, everybody. Good on the drivers joining. Obviously, if you fancy a drive, just sign up as well, because it's a blast. If you just seen, it's chaotic, it's fun, it's competitive. But at the end of the day, it's all good racing. So I hope to see you guys next time on Knock Hill.